Hello, everyone. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast. This is Abe, your host. Today is going to be a Drivecast episode. As long as the audio turns out all right, I will put this episode out. If not, I will redo it. Because I have a 40-minute drive to work. I have at least 3 things I want to talk about. So today's July 15th, 2026. Tomorrow is Sam's birthday. So happy birthday, Sammy. Yeah, the first story, I'll get into the first one when we get going. I have a buy me a coffee set up in the link down below. The channel info if you're listening on YouTube or Spotify or Rumble. As far as that's about it for right now. If you donate to the channel through Buy Me a Coffee, I will send you a bookmark. I will sign the bookmark, unless you don't want me to, but you can message that through Buy Me a Coffee. Yeah, just helps me pay bills. Let's just keep it simple. So I'm gonna put you in here, and we'll get started. Driving. Now my car is a little loud, so you'll have to bear with that. But first thing I wanted to talk about, like I said, yeah, I know this is Blue Pill or Conspiracy Corner, but I do have a little bit of Blue Pill stuff that I want to talk about. So a while back, I had a interview with one of my buddies. He's an actor. His name is Jason Donahue. If you're on YouTube, you can go through the interview section, and you can find it on there. He's a horror actor. He's also a chef. He's actually moving. He's moving to Bowling Green, and he's starting a pizza restaurant with his brother, I believe. He's also starting a podcast with his brother, and it's going to be called Dough Bros. DOUGHBROS. It's a pizza broad podcast. Because like I said, he's a chef and stuff, so the restaurant that he's starting is a pizza restaurant. He's starting that podcast with his brother, and they're gonna do it, I think, like once a week or something. And he said, "Yeah, dude, I'll have you on as a guest." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, dude." Because I have a lot of people on my podcast. I try to have as many as I can. But I never really get invited on other people's. Mirror D80s, he's put me out on his channel, so that's cool. Because I'm always up for it. Like, hey man, like I hear people have podcasts and stuff. Like, there was this dude that I was working with. His name was Ty. He ended up kind of being a douchebag at Kroger. He was really cool, like, first couple days working with him, and then he just started acting fucking weird. Yeah, so I might be on Dough Bros whenever they get it started. But he works over at a movie tavern here on Brennan Crossing, where I'm actually at right now. Normally I go in and visit him, tell him what's up, how you doing, man? Because he's pretty cool. He was gonna have me in an acting role on a short film that he was gonna record, but that ended up falling through. So every Tuesday at Movie Tavern, they have half-price movies. And Sammy, for her birthday, I got her Japanese lessons, and she wanted to schedule it on Tuesdays because that's her days off. And at the time, I was working third shift at Kroger, and they kept working me Tuesdays, and when I first started, they were giving me Tuesdays off, so every Tuesday I would go up to Movie Tavern because it's half-price movies, and me and Sammy invested in a popcorn bucket, so our popcorn was discounted, and we were going and seeing a movie like every week. But now that I have this new job at my buddy's cabinet shop, I can go and see a movie, you know, pretty much every Tuesday, as long as I get off at 5 p.m. I have to pretty much rush home. You know, like yesterday, I had to like rush home immediately. Pretty much walk in the door, throw on a t-shirt, you know, grab some more cigarettes, and just rush right back out. So yesterday I seen the new Evil Dead Burn. I've been kind of boycotting Evil Dead, so little backstory. I grew up watching Evil Dead. I love Evil Dead. I love Sam Raimi. His films in general are dope. Like, he's made Drag Me to Hell, which was a really good movie. He made the original Spider-Mans. That's why, like, Bruce Campbell always has a cameo in it. Like, Spider-Man 1, he was, I think he was the ringleader of, like, some, like, ghetto generic wrestling federation. And then, he was, like, a ticket or a doorman in one of the Spider-Mans. Then I think he was, like, a ticket collector or something in one of them. But yeah, he's in all three of the Spider-Mans, the originals. I think there's 3. But I've always been a fan of Sam Raimi's stuff. The only reason I've been boycotting like the newer Evil Deads, the movies, is because they don't have Bruce Campbell in them. And people might automatically go, well, he's old now. And it's like, he's not that old. Because they actually put out a Evil Dead series. I believe it's on Netflix. I don't know which one it's on. I'd have to check. If you know, hit me up in the comments. Because we have Netflix, we have Amazon Prime, we have Hulu, we have Disney Plus. Like, Sammy, for some reason, wants all of them. I don't even really use them. I think it's a waste of money, but, you know, happy wife, happy life, you know. So, that kind of satiated. Like, I started watching it, and, like, it was awesome. I mean, the series was awesome. I never finished it. I got pretty deep into it. But it's got Bruce Campbell, and it's got the whole comedy style. And I felt like the newer Evil Deads, just by the trailers, I felt like they wouldn't have the same comedy style as the original Evil Deads, which is what I loved about the Evil Dead series. So I boycotted the first Evil Dead movie, the newer one that they came out with, but I watched this newest one last night, Evil Dead Burn. And the only reason I watched it is because it was an early enough showing, it was half price, and I was like, fuck it, you can't beat it, half price. I'm not paying for Sammy, I'm just paying for me. I got my popcorn bucket. If it sucks, it sucks. I'm not gonna be hurt over it, you know. I did end up spending a little bit of fucking money though, so I had Sammy drop me off because she went to the library because it's better internet connection, and you know how you can like rent those little rooms to like for privacy, because my mother-in-law likes to bug her 24/7. So she's like, no, if I'm doing my classes, I want to go to the library. That, and if she needs to print anything off, she's right there, you know. So when I went in, dude, they got a bar there, and I got a sangria. Like, I always get a sangria whenever I go to the movies. Dude, this motherfucker was $20 goddamn. I'm like, nah, dude, that's insane. So I got the sangria, I drank it. Hang on, let me turn on my cruise control. Alright. So I got the sangria, and I mean, it was good, but $20, dude? So my second drink, I went and I got some, I was like, dude, what's your cheapest beer that's like on sale or something? It was a $4 beer. I'm like, dude, next time I'm just gonna get like 2 or 3 $4 beers, you know? I only had 2 drinks, but I was like, Jesus, man, $20 fucking for a cocktail. I mean, I get it because I used to be a bartender, but maybe it's just the economy, man, because I don't remember saying, like, our sangrias back when I used to bartend, which this was years ago, but ours were like maybe $6. Like, whoa, I'm hearing shit. $20 is fucking crazy. Anyways, and plus I got to tip 20% on that, you know, because I'm not a cheap tipper, man, because I used to bartend. I know how it is. So I was watching the movie though. The movie is fucking awesome, dude. I ain't gonna lie, dude. It's pretty fucking sick. Is it like 10 out of 10? No. So we watched a Sam Raimi movie earlier this year. I cannot remember the fucking name of it for the life of me, but the storyline of it was like, it was this nerdy chick, and she has like a shitty boss. He treats her like garbage and makes fun of her and shit. The whole staff hates her. And they end up going on a business trip, and the plane wrecks, and she's stuck on the island with the boss. Whatever movie that was like 10 out of 10. Amazing. It was probably the best Sam Raimi film that I've ever seen. In my opinion, it was the best Sam Raimi film. It had tons of the Sam Raimi humor, tons of the Sam Raimi gore. It was like decently long. It had tons of twists and turns. But this Evil Dead was pretty good, man. I was actually surprised. So like the basic story of it was, it's like a prequel to the original Evil Deads, but it's in modern times. It's really weird. I don't know why he did it like that. He could have based it in the 70s, but and it's not based in a cabin this time. It's based in the grandpa's house. If you guys remember from the original Evil Dead series, the second one, Death by Dawn, they had like a whole backstory, essentially, of this old man. He was like an archaeologist, and he found the Necronomicon on one of his archaeological adventures, and yeah, and like had found the dagger and shit, and that's pretty much how the story started. You know, he went insane, and so it delved into that. This dude, it starts off like this guy and his brother. It's his birthday. Everyone's in town, and the brother ends up driving drunk and wrecking his car and dying. So they all go to this funeral, and for some reason, there's like this weird cursed girl that comes out of the woods. She's a Deadite, and apparently, like, the Deadites, they're kind of like zombies in this one. I don't remember if it was like that in the original Evil Deads, but anytime there's like fluid exchanged, it makes them, it can infect you and make you into a Deadite. So she infected the brother before he died, and when he died, he came back to life, and yeah, pretty much all hell breaks loose. So everyone's at the funeral. They all go to this mansion where the grandpa, the archaeologist, used to live, and the daughter's still alive. She's an older lady. The wife of the grandpa is still alive, but she's senile. And without ruining it, basically all hell breaks loose. People start getting infected. the dad's infected because he got infected by the brother at the funeral home because he went to the crematorium because he wanted to say one last goodbye and the brother infected him. I don't want to ruin too much, dude, but it's gory as fuck, man. I love going to the theater and watching Sam Raimi films because you can tell the ones who are fans of Sam Raimi because they already know his style of movie, and they're like automatically laughing. Like, it was awesome to watch because like at the beginning of the movie, and by the way, it does have Sam Raimi humor, but it was kind of cool the way he did it, of like, it starts off like zero humor, and he keeps making it more humorous as the movie went on. So it was kind of dope. Like, at the beginning of the movie, I'm in the theater laughing and shit, and I'm the only one fucking laughing, and I was a little worried like I was gonna get kicked out or I was freaking people out. But as the movie progressed and it became more humorous at times, it was like a virus of laughter. Like, then other people started laughing. Then the people next to me started laughing. And then the people on the other side started laughing. And then the people below started laughing. I think it was amazing how he did that. I don't know if that was a director's choice or what, but it was just awesome because, and it makes sense because we live in such a newer woke society that people are scared to laugh at macabre shit, you know? So it was cool. And I don't know if he purposely did that or what, but it was neat to watch. And it was neat to watch a newer, younger audience, where I am an older guy. I'm 34, you know, I grew up in my teenage years with like the Evil Dead trilogy like on VHS, and we'd get high and watch it and shit in high school, you know. So yeah, it was cool to see a newer generation, like, for one, get horrified and grossed out by the Sam Raimi torture shit, and for two, to like check out like the new, like a newer generation experience in Sam Raimi comedy style for the first time, you know. It was awesome. But I think overall, man, I would give the movie like a 8 out of 10. It was definitely better than like an average 7 out of 10. It was definitely better than that. I would say like I can't say that it's like better than the Evil Deads, the original Evil Deads. I do definitely say like it added to your Evil Dead collection, you know. Give it a chance. I do think it belongs in the series. It's just a totally different style, you know. Not completely different, but it's definitely different. And I ain't gonna lie, there was no Bruce Campbell cameo, so that kind of sucked. I did hear there was a Bruce Campbell cameo in the last Evil Dead movie they put out. So I might honestly, after watching this one, I might give that one a chance and watch it. But yeah, I give it an 8 out of 10. So I hope you enjoyed that review. Let's get on with the next subject that I wanted to talk about, though, is Mitch McConnell. So I was kind of wondering, I had covered his illness here lately, and I was kind of wondering that little, because you guys know me, I used to be a Q-tard, and I was kind of wondering, is he fucking dead, and they're just hiding it from people? Because you guys know how I felt about Joe Biden not being the actual Joe Biden. I do believe that a lot of these people are either swapped out with lookalikes. I don't really automatically jump to the whole cloning thing because it would just be easier for them to have like CIA grade mask or just find a body double. You know, I mean, you guys know the famous story of the CIA, head of CIA at the time, a woman sneaking into the White House to talk to George Bush Sr., and he didn't even know that it was her, you know? So you guys know the technology with that, and it's just easier to find a body double or a face mask. I mean, you don't automatically just have to jump to conclusions and think that it's a fucking, you know, clone. I don't know though. So there's a little bit, I was watching Jimmy Dore's show, and it was Kurt Metzger and some other guy. Jimmy Dore was out touring, I'm guessing, so obviously he wasn't there. They were kind of filling in. And I was watching Kurt Metzger and this other guy talk about it, and they gave some credence as to why they would fake his death. And it makes a lot of sense. So I've been covering Thomas Massie. There's a whole playlist I made of Thomas Massie versus Ed Gelrain. Go check out that playlist. I'm a big supporter of Thomas Massie. Him and Marjorie Taylor Greene and a few other politicians I can't recall off the top of my head. They're like the only ones who are fighting to get this Epstein shit fully released, you know? And I just like Thomas Massie, but the reason why they would fake Mitch McConnell's death is because if they fake his death, or if he died and people found out that he died, as long as it is not too close to the next election, there's a chance that Thomas Massie could get voted in, which I would fucking love. And right now, dude, Kentucky needs it, man. They're putting up data centers everywhere. Just all sorts of shit, you know, like we really need Thomas Massie in and Mitch McConnell out. That's just a fact. I'm just checking the time on this. So I don't wish death on anyone, you know, I truly don't. But it would work in our favor if he was dead. You know, I try not to celebrate people's death. I try not to wish death on people. Now, if you guys are longtime listeners, I used to be super cutthroat, man. On my early episodes, like if someone from like the quote unquote Illuminati was dead, I was like celebrating and like, hell yeah, cheers, you know, let's pop bottles of champagne and shit. Yeah, I'm not like that anymore. I've mellowed out throughout the years. There's a little spot here on the Kentucky River I'm actually gonna pull over if I can and finish off this podcast. But yeah, that's not my style anymore. So here's another weird thing. His wife is Chinese, and dude, everybody swears that his wife is a CCP agent. I think she is. That's just a conspiracy theory, but I think she is a CCP agent because they infiltrate our politics all the time. And I mean, why wouldn't you? Every country we probably have people from CIA. Well, that's actually a fact. Never mind. Because we always usurp leaders and we assassinate leaders and then put ours in, you know? So we all know for a fact that if we do it, they do it. And I think it's actually been proven, man. Well, there's a couple Chinese like spies who it's pretty much been proven are like agents, you know? Let me pull over here on this spot. It's just safer and I have a little bit of time to finish off the episode. 14. Yeah, I got a little bit of time. But yeah, so as soon as he like they put out a picture the other day, here recently. I think it was yesterday or something. They put out a picture of Mitch McConnell. Sorry, I'm a little scatterbrained this morning. I just woke up. Plus, I'm always a little scatterbrained because I am focusing on driving too. Usually that's why I kind of wanted to pull over for a second and finish off this episode. But it's really weird. Like, it's already been proven. Someone pulled up the video, and I can't recall whose channel it was. Otherwise, I'd give up proper shout-outs. But someone found an older picture. It's the exact same picture. And what they did was they altered his t-shirt and her clothing, and that was it. I don't even know if they altered the newspaper. I couldn't recall, but it's been proven that it's an older picture that they just altered. And it was funny. One of his buddies was on a local news station, and he's like, yeah, I talked to Mitch McConnell this morning, he's still alive, So, the newscaster, which actually surprised me, because you guys know, like, Operation Mockingbird and all that, like, usually you would think that the newscaster would have been like, like a CIA plant or something. But I think every now and then you get like a good newscaster who's not Mockingbird, and I think this is local news too, like local Kentucky. I think the local news is less infiltrated by Operation Mockingbird. So she was like, okay, cool. Can you put him on the phone right now? And he's like, you see, and I'm like, this is a good little reporter here. So I don't know, man. I mean, I disagree with Mitch McConnell, but you know what I'm saying? Like, why would they be putting out fake photos or altered photos of older photos? And it gave me a lot of credence. I suspected it then, the last time I reported on him. And I might start a Mitch McConnell playlist, so that way you can go check out that older episode. The whole thing is fishy as fuck. And I truly, in my heart of hearts, I think he's dead. And I think they're not reporting on it yet because they don't want Thomas Massie in. So here's another thing. Even if he's not physically dead, gone from this realm, I didn't know this, and they were talking about it on Kurt Metzger, Jimmy Dore. If someone is declared medically brain dead, that means that here in the state of Kentucky, you can officially say that that person is technically deceased. Which would mean, and if he is brain dead too, I mean, he can't obviously keep being in politics. I mean, he was pretty close to brain dead. Like, if you look at all those older videos of him, like, freezing and just going complete turtle mode. I mean, I know he looks like a turtle, but he was, like, physically acting like a turtle, So I don't know, dude. And I don't wish death on anyone, but if he is dead, they're not going to. Because our system is rigged and we live in a banana republic. But I hope someone finds out if he is dead. So that way we can start an early election. I think they call it a flash election. It would be a flash election. And we can get Thomas Massie in, dude. Because, dude, I live here in Kentucky, man. Like, we need Thomas Massie in, dude. Yeah, I don't know. So I figured I'd cover those two subjects. I wanted to tell you guys about a little movie review on that Evil Dead burn. And then talk about, is Mitch McConnell dead? I think he's dead. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below if you guys think he's dead, We haven't had a drive cast in a while. So I figured I haven't been putting out episodes as much. I've just been busy at work. And then where I have an hour drive and sometimes we get off late, I pretty much come home, eat, and go straight to bed. Like, I really don't have that much time right now. And they're talking, we might be working 6-7 days a week sometimes. So I'm not going to be putting out episodes as much, and I apologize for that, guys. It's this new job. It's a different style of work. It's a longer drive. And yeah, I love y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Tell me if you've seen the new Evil Dead movie and what you thought. Tell me if you want to see it and what you think, if you think it'll be good. And tell me what you think about Mitch McConnell. Do you guys think he's dead? Love y'all.